Okay, everybody, we're going to go over to Antichamber in just a second. We're going to watch the Antichamber in just a second. We just got a couple of tech things that we need to just sort out first. And then I'll be giving it to Ozmourn, giving the floor to Ozmourn to start the run. So hold on for just a moment, everyone, and we'll be there in very, very quickly. Right. Color key, I think, isn't it? Okay, so for the bottom one, the one on the bottom, you might need to just move that slightly. Or make it thinner or something, because there's not much... Yeah, you might just need to sort of make them a little bit thinner, because they're being blocked by the Omnibar.
Okay, let me just check here.
A good reference point would be, you know, the bottom of the box, the box that I use for the game, so the multicolored one on the right. The bottom of that is pretty much where the top of the Omnibar is, so anything that's below that will be covered by the Omnibar.
Okay. Well,
so you might just need to stretch them down slightly.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try something. Because I don't want them to stretch too much, and so I might not have them, you know, cover up all of the bottom, or all of the, I might not have them cover up all of the side, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was a really poorly worded way of saying that I'm not going to stretch them out all the way, but I hope the point came across, nonetheless.
Yeah, the point came across fine to me. Don't worry.
Come on. Oh, that's the whole layout. Okay. Trying not to, trying to line them up pretty good. Okay, I think that looks good.
Yeah, that looks good on my end. There we go. That's fine. Right. So when you're ready, so give yourself a small introduction because we are running quite behind on schedule. So if you can just get started as quickly as possible, that'd be great.
Yes, I can do that.
Right. So the floor goes to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Ozmourn, and today we are going to be playing Antichamber 100%. I'm not tabbed into the game. That's why we're not hearing any sound. There we go. Sound. Magic. Look at that. So, for those of you that haven't played this game before, it is a nice puzzle game. It's a very classic puzzle game. Created by Alexander Bruce in 2013. It is an amazing game. You're not going to understand anything that goes on in this speedrun because I can barely understand it myself. But I hope that you can keep up with me nonetheless. So, the first thing that we want to do is explain what 100% means. It just means that we're going to get all of the signs, all 13 pink cubes, and all of the map completion. And you can see that represented by the various different trackers that I have on screen. For example, the one below me, the one directly below me is the map. The one below the map is the blue counter for the red signs. The pink wall is going to be the 13 pink cubes we got to collect. And then at the bottom left corner of the game screen, there is a 100% counter that will track the overall completion. And so with that, one thing that I need to do real quick. Okay, now the first thing that we need to do is we need to start from a new game. And with that, the run can begin the moment that I start up, click here. So whoever's on timer, you can start time in 3, 2, 1, go. So The first thing that we need to know about this run is the routing. There are 4 different guns in this route that allow us to do various different things with various cubes. And the first gun that we get is the blue gun. The route is made to get the red gun as fast as possible. And right here we get the introduction to our first pink cube. This is the pink cube in the game that you have to get first. If you do not get it now, you are not able to get it later. It's kind of dumb, in my opinion, but you will not be able to come back to this later in the game. So you need to get this right now. It's the first thing you have to do. And then here's a good puzzle. Here's a good puzzle based on spatial positioning, where if you look down, the door will not close. It will not close in front of you. As long as you're not looking at the door, the door will not close. That's how that puzzle works. And those windows right there, wherever you see a window with that kind of design, putting your entire space up next to it, and so that it covers up the entire screen, the window will transport you to wherever it's showing. And right here, we're going to wait until the percentage counter turns to 11.6, and that's how we know that we want to enter. That's how we know they want to exit to main menu and then continue to the rest of the puzzle. And what you're going to be seeing me do a lot is exit to main menu, go to the hub, and then continue to enter a new level directly from the hub instead of walking directly to the next area myself. And what that helps us do is just save small amount of time based on the way that the game is positioning you. And so when you spawn into an area, it's just faster to exit to main menu and then choose that area instead of walking into it manually. Right here, we're going to have a bit of a staring contest with this eye. You're going to stare at it for 15 seconds, but during those 15 seconds, you can walk backwards and grab another sign and map trigger. And right here, we have leapfrog. There is a skip for this. It'll open up that door. You can technically cover up this door right before it closes. However, I suck at it, and so we're not going to do it today. Right here we get the green gun. The green gun allows you to grab multiple cubes at a time, and it also allows you to shoot multiple cubes at a time. However, we're not going to be using it for much longer because right after this we're going to get the yellow cube. What I did right there is called lag glitch. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm making it so that the game goes in and out of windowed mode, and during that phase we are getting a little bit of lag. And during that lag period, all the triggers that you kind of walk through during the game in order to open doors or grab lasers, they kind of just don't exist. Either that or the game just allows you to walk through them. Like you can, as you can see, I was supposed to walk through a laser that opens a door, and the door just never opened, or the door just never closed, I should say. And right here, what we're going to be doing is a warp. Essentially, what a warp is the game really doesn't like it when you and an object are taking up the same space. We got it first try. Look at that. And so what I did was I shot a bunch of cubes during a lag period, and if you quit to menu fast enough, the cubes that you shoot will actually not leave that physical space. And when you exit, and we have the cubes cover up a spawn point to a specific level, and when you enter that spawn point, the game is like, we can't put you here because there's already cubes there. And so it puts you into the lobby with a gun, and during that weird phase, you can actually just choose wherever you want to go from the map, even if it's a location that you haven't discovered previously. And so that allows us to skip a lot of platforming that we don't really need. Okay, I did lag glitch a bit too early there. Excuse me. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, I kept doing it a bit too early there, but luckily we recovered pretty nice. And as you can see, we also have the red gun. What the red gun allows us to do is grab a bunch of cubes in a group all at once and create a bunch of cubes in a group all at once like this, essentially generating infinite cubes in the process of doing that. Right there, what we did was tower clip. It's essentially just making a small tower of cubes and then using those cubes to push you through the wall. And what that does skip is parts of the tower. As you can see, there is these numbers 1 through 7. Right now we're at tower 3, and the way that you get between each section of the tower is by solving puzzles. However, by doing tower clip, which we're going to do twice, you can just skip directly to the next section of the tower, because in the actual physical space they're actually all right next to each other. And so we're going to see that from Tower 1 to Tower 2, and then we're going to see it again right here from Tower 5 to Tower 6. But before we do the next tower clip, what we're going to be doing is, first off, we got to walk forward to grab this map trigger that we need for later, that we have to come back to. Right here, we have to actually physically move the cubes through this gel area. Whenever you're in one of those areas, all the cubes in your gun will disappear. And so you can't, and so sometimes you have to move them through manually. And right there was another example of tower clip from 5 to 6. And right here, we have a very special glitch where, if for whatever reason, if you walk off of a platform without having previously jumped off of it, you can actually just jump in midair. Like, it stores that jump for you. And right here, we're gonna have a really good example of that, where I grab a cube from the very bottom of this pit and then use it to break my fall so that we can rise up and get this map trigger quicker. 48.9% is exactly the amount that we like to see right now. That means we're on track. And we're gonna see the jump glitch twice right here as we get another pink cube, the 5th pink cube of the run. And then the jump glitch right there in order to get to the other side of this other side. And again, a lot of rooms that weren't there before, a lot of different spatial positioning kinds of puzzles. And here we're going to do another instance of lag glitch to go through those lasers and not open up this door. All right, right here we're going to fill up these lasers in the wall so we can open here. And one interesting thing about the mechanic that we got from the yellow gun, I didn't explain that. The mechanic that we got from the yellow gun is be able to move cubes like that. And when you tell a group of cubes to move in a specific direction, they're just going to go in a general direction of where it is until it can't, until something stops it. And so we just did that with that top layer of cubes by moving it as we fill up the bottom layer. And so we can fill up both lasers and open the door pretty quickly, like that. And one thing that I forgot to mention is actually cube chambering. It's the easiest trick in the book. All you have to do is hold down right click and then hold down left click and then let go of right click, and boom. That allows you to store one cube at a time in your gun, even through a particle barrier that will prevent you from bringing cubes to the other side. And right here is a moment where I like to talk about the different rebindings we have. We do allow specific rebindings in this category, in this game. For example, we have F11 rebounded to like a mouse button that you can use, like a thumb button on your mouse, so you can easily go in and out of windowed mode. One thing that we also allow is holding that rebinding scroll wheel down to shoot, scroll wheel up to collect cubes, and we also rebound Q to escape, so we can easily just keep escaping. Almost didn't get that pink cube. So we can just keep escaping to main menu whenever we need to select a new level. And so we really like to prioritize the replayability of some of these speedruns. You know, you don't want to be reaching all the way over to the other end of your keyboard just to perform a very simple trick. Ooh, I've never been in this position before. I think we need to restart this small part. Okay, just this part. Okay, that's fine. I thought I had to restart this whole entire section. Okay, so one thing that you probably noticed is like there are certain different colored cubes in specific areas, and the way that works is the color of the cubes in a specific area will be dependent on whatever gun the game thinks you should be having at this moment. Technically, what we're doing right now is the tutorial sequence. However, and that's why all the cubes in this section are blue, because you're supposed to have the blue gun technically. However, we have the most OP gun in the game, which is the red gun, because it just allows us to skip a lot of puzzle solving and go through this section a lot faster. Oh, look at that, a room that was not there before. All right, one thing that we have here is we're going to get a bit of photosensitivity warning. This sign is going to tell us not to look down, but we're going to look down anyway. And we're about halfway through the run. If you could believe it, it feels like it's gone by pretty quickly. And then we're going to go to, oh my god, I accidentally exited out of the game. Okay. I don't know what happened there. We're going to go to taking baby steps. And then we're going to just grab this sign and map trigger at the top of these stairs. And we're going to walk down and get the 7th pink cube of the run. I don't know. I'm not keeping track, to be honest. That's what the tracker is for. And we're gonna grab a bit of cubes from the sign at the other end of that hallway in order to make a bridge for ourselves. We're gonna use those same cubes to grab a wall and jump down here. And the way that this puzzle works is that whenever you get rid of a cube, as it's disappearing, there's gonna be a brief period where it's just completely gone before it comes back. And if another cube has taken its place in that time period, the cube will actually never come back. And so we're gonna use those puzzle solving mechanics in order to open up a dev room at the bottom of that pit. And the dev rooms are very interesting. Not all of them actually count towards 100%. There's one really big one that we do not see in this speedrun. However, we do have a dev room speedrun that follows a bit of different rules, primarily because some of the dev rooms just don't show up on the map, and so they don't have no reason to count towards a full completion. There's no primary way to track them. And here is a very interesting section. Oh, there we go. Thank you. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be backing up and we're going to be shooting a large amount of cubes and then quitting to the hub menu. Right here, we're going to cube chamber 1 cube through this end. And if we quit to main menu really fast after shooting a bunch of cubes, you can actually make sure that they're still in that same space, and so we can actually collect them. On the other side, there's a little bit of a seam through that corner right there that we're actually able to collect the cubes from. And with that, we can cube chamber another cube and open that door. We're going to grab a cube from the very end of this hallway. And first off, we need to make sure that we're hugging this corner of the wall so that the elevator underneath us doesn't actually go down. But with this elevator, after we collected that map trigger, we're going to have it so that the cube that we shoot actually pushes us through the elevator. That is called elevator clip. Since the cube is a static object and the elevator is a moving object, the cube is actually just going to push us through. We're going to go back to Stairway to Heaven. We're going to go up these stairs this time and grab a map trigger that we're going to have to come back to later. We're going to grab the 10th pink cube of the run. This is going to be the last pink cube before the very end of the run. There's 3 more. We're going to get them into like a little bit of a cleanup session after unlocking the last area. Right here, we're going to grab these cubes. I'm going to back up so that this giant cube behind us will lower that elevator. But first, before going up the elevator, we need to fill up this area with cubes so we can open this door. And we're going to use a jump glitch so we can grab a specific map trigger and sign trigger at the bottom there, but without actually falling down. That's the most important part. You don't actually want to fall down there. And here's a very hard part of the game in order to keep moving while being accurate with some of these shots. As you can see, sometimes I like to go up really close and personal with some of these holes in the wall to fill up the lasers and open the doors that need to be opened, because a lot of the times it's very hard to just keep moving where you need to move and be accurate with those shots, especially if the shots need to be made from a really far distance. Right here, we're going to fill up these that wall of cubes in order to fill up the lasers. We're going to cube chamber 1 cube through here, and we're going to cube chamber the same cubes in order to ride it up this section and get a map trigger and a sign trigger. That's the very top here. We want to make sure that we walk backwards so that the scene around us doesn't change and the game doesn't teleport us to another area, but we can still collect the map and sign trigger regardless. As you can see, we're going to fill up those lasers right before that middle cube comes back. The way that works is that whenever you get rid of a section of cubes, the smaller sections of the area of cubes will actually disappear. And so if you were to move the cubes before this middle section comes back, then you can fill up those lasers. And right there we did do another example of the jump glitch in order to avoid falling down that pit. Right here, we want to make 3 giant walls of cubes in order to fill up all the lasers in that section. And now we have 91.2%, which is exactly the percentage that we want to see right now. We're going to get rid of all these cubes in this section. We're going to get another sign trigger, and then we're going to be doing the second warp of the run that allows us to skip the entire chase sequence. And let's see if we can get it first try. Yes. No. Second try. That felt like it should have worked. Yes. Second try. Boom. Let's go. All right. And one thing that we want to do is grab this sign and map trigger back here, but we also want to do a hub storage backup. And the way that hub storage works is that essentially if you shoot a certain amount of cubes and quickly exit to main menu, the game can't get rid of all the cubes at once, and so it'll kind of refund all of the some of the cubes into your gun when you enter the next section. And that's why it's called hub storage, because you can store cubes via exiting to hub. We're going to cube chamber one cube through here to make a small section at the top of this area a bit easier, a bit faster if we're precise with it. Right here. Oh, we did get it, but I unfortunately kind of flubbed it there. Okay, all of that was just to collect one sign. And now we're kind of at the cleanup session of the run, where we're going to be getting the last 3 pink cubes, the last few map triggers, the last few sign triggers. That's what we're going to be getting right now. And so here is the 11th pink cube of the run. And we're going to get another pink cube right here at the chase. Essentially, you're supposed to go through this chase sequence, and if you walk backwards to the door that you came through, surprise, surprise, there is another pink cube. And right here, we're gonna get a map trigger right here at connecting the dots. We're gonna make a small bridge of red cubes across here, and there's this unfortunately kind of relatively long section where you have to move these cubes through these particle fields. And you're probably asking, why don't you just cube chamber the way that you've been cube chambering through these particle fields before? Well, that's because this last section actually requires 2 cubes, and you can only cube chamber 1 cube at a time. So cube chambering in that instance is kind of useless. We're going to grab one more sign map trigger there, a map trigger here, and then one last map and sign trigger here. And there's actually one more pink cube in this run. It is the longest pink cube in this game. It takes 90 seconds to get, and it's actually one of the biggest rooms. And so if the host wants anything to say, he has 90 seconds starting right now. InstaSim?
Yeah?
Yeah, you can say some stuff. This is gonna go on for quite some time.
Oh, right, okay, sorry. I thought you were saying I needed 90 seconds to be on the sort of deck to...
No. I mean, like, if you like, the host can say things. They have 90 seconds right now. Well, now it's more like 50, but...
That's fine. All we need to say is, donate, guys! There's no new donations in, but anyone who does want to donate, then please go to the Tiltify link. Exclamation mark donate in the chat will bring the link up for you guys if you want to donate.
Exactly. Legitimately though, if there's anything else that you want to plug, do it now, because this goes on for quite some time.
Yeah, so there is also an incentive for, not the next run, because the next run's your run, the Ape Out run. The following run, which is the Bleed 2 Endless Normal run, there's a show hitboxes incentive, which hasn't actually raised anything yet, but that needs £50 to see that. So if you guys want to see that, then please go over to donate and get that incentive up to £50 so we can see the hitboxes in the Bleed 2 Endless run, which is going to be after the 8-pout run, which is the next run.
Alright, thank you so much. And with that, we're going to walk backwards. We're going to get another sign and map trigger. We've gotten all 13 pink cubes. And one thing that you probably noticed in the main lobby, if you have a keen eye, and you weren't confused at all by the hecticness of this run, there was a timer. Behind that timer is actually a sign, and I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is the last time we didn't get. The bad news is we do have to wait for 1 hour and 10 minutes to get it. So InstaSim, if you have anything to say, you have an hour and 10 minutes.
An hour and 10 minutes?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I don't think I can talk for that long.
No, but in reality, we do have a way to bypass this, and it is crashing the game. And so what that does is called timer skip, or timer glitch. Essentially what timer glitch is that when you clip out of the hub in order to grab that sign, you are forced to exit the game and restart it, because you can't just exit to the hub and continue the game, because the game thinks you're still in the hub. Also, for some reason, I can't actually hear the game. Let's open that one more time. I really want this last section to have audio. That's strange. Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to finish the run without any audio. For some reason, the game isn't producing. You can't hear it on stream, can you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. For some reason, the game isn't making any sound.
No, it's fine. Sound is for wimps.
Right. Whoever needed sound.
Who
Anyway.
needs sound?
Anyway, time is gonna come up in like 5 seconds. Actually, time. That's time. What was my final time, if you don't mind me asking? This last section is really nice. I wish there was sound so that we can enjoy it to the fullest. But yeah, unfortunately, for some reason, the game just isn't producing sound right now.
I think it is producing sound on the stream, but
Is it?
it's just not producing sound for you. So
Oh, dang.
we can all enjoy it. Well, I
Oh,
can,
yes.
because I have to talk to you. But
Yes.
yeah,
That's
I
strange,
think everyone
it's,
else on the stream can.
You can hear it? Okay, that's just strange. I guess it's just me. Well, I'm glad you guys were able to enjoy it. Well, that means I didn't have to like restart the game twice. Well, it's whatever. What was my final time? You know me
21 minutes and 31 seconds.
That is what? 21 minutes and 30 seconds. That was at least 30 seconds lost just from having to restart the game. That could have been a 20. That's actually faster than the majority of my marathon runs that I've done with this game, which is
nice.
surprising. But yes, that is Antichamber 100%. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found, all the counters filling out pretty satisfying. We do have an incentive for this. I don't know if it was met. Could you tell me?
No, it wasn't met, unfortunately. Nobody donated to that one. So
oh, that's fine. No
do
worries.
not get the any % showcase, and I don't think we really have the time for it at the moment anyway, because we're running quite behind schedule at the moment. So we're going to go over to your ape out run now, actually. So if you want to just load that up now, I'll leave the stream running, and then...
Oh, no intermission? We can just go into the next one?
Yeah, we'll just go straight to ape out, because there's no point. It's just your run again, so just open the game and we'll go from there.